You ever get a letter in your own handwriting but have no memory of writing it? No return address, no date, just words that know too much, like they've been waiting for you to become the person who can understand them. Sometimes a voice finds you, not a stranger's voice, your voice, from a place ahead of you you haven't reached yet. And when it does, it doesn't feel foreign, it feels inevitable. This is not nostalgia. This is not imagination. This is what happens when the future refuses to leave you behind. This is the Envelope Series. You keep going back, not physically, mentally, emotionally, checking, running it back, revisiting something that had already passed, looking for something that isn't there anymore, or trying to make sure something still is. Small checks, quick ones, the kind you don't even notice you're doing until you slow down just enough to see it. The moment already passed, and you're back in it, looking again, asking questions that don't need answers, trying to confirm something you already felt. And every time you do that, you feel it. Not loud, but enough. Something shifts, not forward, back. Not all the way, but enough. Like you stepped out of something you were just in because something did change. You felt it. The moments that used to trip you up didn't. The reactions that used to show up didn't. And for a second, you let that be enough. But then you went back, just enough to check, just enough to ask, was that real? Did that actually happen? Am I still there? And every time you do that, you step out of it. Not all the way, but enough to question it again. And right there, you hear it. Not loud, not urgent, just familiar. I remember this part, not because it was hard, but because you kept making it harder than it was. You kept going back, not because something was wrong, but because you weren't used to something feeling right without effort. You thought you needed to check it, to make sure it held, to make sure it didn't slip. But every time you did that, you stepped out of it, just enough to question it again. And that checking was the only thing slowing you down. Not your discipline, not your effort, not your consistency, just that. Going back. To look at something you already felt shift. You didn't lose it. You didn't fall out of it. You just weren't used to letting it be there without touching it. So you kept testing it. And every test pulled you just far enough away to make you question it again. But here's what you start to notice. You don't protect it by checking it. You protect it by moving in it. By letting it be there without touching it. Without pulling it apart to see if it's still holding. Without needing proof every time you take a step. Because the version of you that got here doesn't need supervision. You don't need to keep asking if it's still there. You need to move like it is. That's the shift. Not noticing it, not understanding it, not proving it, moving in it without checking. And that's the part you're starting to feel. Not understand, but feel. The moments where you don't go back, where you don't replay it, where you don't ask if it's still there. You just move, and nothing breaks, nothing slips, nothing falls apart. it just holds. And at first, that feels strange, like you missed something, like you skipped a step, like you should go back just to make sure, but you don't. And it stays. And then it happens again and again. And you start to realize it was never about checking. It was about letting it be, letting it exist without interference, letting it hold without your supervision. And for the first time, you're not trying to prove it. You're not trying to confirm it. You're not trying to test it. You're just moving and letting that be enough. And maybe that's what this was always supposed to feel like. Not something you manage, something you move in. Because next time, it's not about trusting that it's there. It's about what happens when you stop thinking about it altogether. This is the Envelope Series.